Welcome guys, this is Stefan from Practice Speak, and in today's video, if you stay till the end, you're going to have a paradigm shift about your practice. If you're a chiropractor who is thinking about setting up a clinic or who has a clinic, especially if you've already set up one, but you're looking to scale, you're looking to grow, you're looking to streamline, you're looking to maybe someday remove yourself from the business or potentially not practice as much so you free up more time, then this video is going to hopefully blow your mind. And I'm a big believer in not just sticking to one profession to try and evolve that profession. This is called cross-pollination. So a lot of these concepts I'll be teaching you today will be taken from marketing, from SaaS businesses, from entrepreneurship, from NLP, and from chiropractic, and probably multiple variants. And the concept is not new, but the way I'm going to deliver it to you will hopefully make you think very differently about how you've been operating your business and hopefully give you the freedom to take your business to the next level. The concept, and I've just written about this, and I hope you guys have read it, because in the article we also give you a much better visual that I'll be able to present you with my art skills, shall we say. But the concept is called Chiropractic Business, my favorite word at the minute, Nirvana. And what on earth does that mean? We're going to break it down. We're going to keep it very, very fundamental and applicable. You have to excuse my AI camera that keeps following me around. It's probably good for you guys actually to be able to see. But how many of you as business owners worry and constantly have to think about, how am I going to get the new patients in this month? The 30th of every month comes, you draw the line, the bottom line of how you've performed that month, how many new patients you saw, how they did, what's the revenue, and then you think, holy smokes, we've got to do it all over again for next month. How many of you guys have actually experienced that to the point where it almost becomes anxious to think, I want to hire a new chiropractor, or I have hired a new chiropractor, but I have no idea how I'm going to give them new patients, I'm going to run Facebook ads and this and this and this and this and this, and all of a sudden you're constantly having to think about this one thing in your business, which is new patients. You see courses made on new patients, you see the gurus out there teaching how to get more new patients, you see marketing agencies offering you their services about new patients. But what if I teach you that you don't have to worry about new patients? And this whole concept of achieving business nirvana is a progression that we're going to develop together in a second. And by the end of this video, you guys will think, damn, I've been doing things in a very inefficient and ineffective way. And if you haven't, brilliant, you're in a position where you're probably making 100 to 150, 200k a month. You probably don't operate the business. You've created a machine that works with and without you and still provides an amazing service for your clients. And that's what we were able to do. And I was very lucky that I had the right steps and I developed the right SOPs to be able to achieve that. Now, in terms of, let's move the whiteboard a little bit closer this way. In terms of, we're going to call this level one. So level one is this concept of, I'm going to get new patients and I'm just going to keep bringing new patients to make me more money. And that's fine. However, what people don't understand is when there is ad fatigue on Facebook, or when Google increases their pay-per-click, when it becomes more competitive, or when something happens in your local area, your number of new patients, which is the only way that you're fueling that machine to work, can drop dramatically, which means that it's a direct impact on how your clinic is performing in terms of revenue. And we know the oxygen to the business is money. People don't like talking about it, people feel uncomfortable. It is the truth. And I operate from first principles, which is what is truth. You cannot run a business without having the cash flow, full stop. It's one of the biggest reasons why businesses just do not function. People might say, I don't feel passionate enough, I'm stressed because I don't run a team. It's usually they ran out of money to operate the business and to grow it and to actually find the enjoyable part of running a successful clinic, successful practice. So think about this, it's almost like, I don't know if you guys can see this, let's bring it up this way a little bit. Imagine if you have a funnel, we always talk about this funnel, and if this is the level that you operate under, which is level one of this business nirvana thing, all you're relying on is let's just get more new patients from Facebook, let's get more new patients from Google, let's do more spinal screenings, and eventually that equates to the amount of money you make, but actually that's a very, very, very leaky funnel. The second level that we need to consider, if you want to obviously achieve financial freedom, if you want to help lots of patients, if you want to have an impact and have fun along the way, is, of course, new patients are important, but what about how we actually convert? What is the percentage of conversion of those people that came to your practice looking for a solution, to be given that solution in a way that it makes sense, it's explained properly, it's professional, it's impactful, and patients got it? If I have a new associate starting, from here to here, I probably spend 2 weeks of intense training on just them understanding the way we operate. And let me just give you an example, and this will absolutely blow your mind. Excuse me, guys. So this week I'm working with a private client, and they're doing phenomenal, by the way, but they're trying to get to the next level where they're removing themselves from the business. They get close to 120 new patients every single month. And that's a practice of 3 associates, I believe. In theory, they should be making about 100k a month easily. If they have achieved this business nirvana, but they're 2 steps behind, and I'll tell you why. The first thing they're missing, and when we looked at, by the way, when I work with private clients, we literally go inside the business, we pulled out all the KPIs, we pulled out all the spreadsheets, and we found that one of the chiropractors was doing pretty well, like converting at 70%. The other 2 chiropractors were doing around 33% conversion rates, which basically means that for every 6.7 patients that came in, for every 10 patients that came in their clinic, 6.7 didn't commit to a plan. And that doesn't only impact the revenue, forget about the revenue, but I always think, as someone who runs a practice myself, I always think, what do these patients say about us when they leave the clinic and they didn't commit to a plan? Where did we fail to present the fact that chiropractic is brilliant, that we found the problem, we know what the diagnosis is, and we can truly help them? It's at least worth us trying. And we failed at presenting that to the patient. And what will that patient think or say when they leave the clinic? That has a huge negative implication on your brand, on your reputation potentially. So it's not just about a new patient. It's not just about the number of new patients you get, guys. So this is another thing that I actually am developing a program on at the minute, and we call it the Perfect Patient Journey, and that is going to be part of a bigger picture. It's my dream, and if you're not working with me at the minute, I promise you at some point you will, because it's going to be the most comprehensive program on how to set up, scale, and streamline the perfect practice. And this is my dream. I don't think, working with private clients, I'm starting to realize, wow, a lot of people are struggling out there to actually run and operate a business and actually don't have the roadmap. So what if there was a step-by-step process of exactly what to do at each level of your business? And this probably will take me 5 to 10 years to develop fully. It probably will never be complete, but it's going to be incredible. And we're actually launching, I don't know if you, depending on when you're watching this video, but we're launching this month, and I'm really excited. We already have a few people that are joining, and this is not a sale process, by the way. This is just genuinely me being excited about developing the most helpful, useful thing for chiropractic business owners, so we can grow together, we can build freaking awesome businesses that help a lot of patients, that help you make some revenue, become successful, and actually live life on your own terms. That's kind of, we'll strive for that freedom, whatever freedom means to you. So of course, new patients is important, conversion very important. In my clinic, 70% is what we believe is above the market average, and we strive for that number, and that number is incentivized by everyone's incentivized by a number. We kind of present in different ways, and this will drive more revenue. But this doesn't also drive more revenue. It also drives peace of mind, which for a business owner is very important. Knowing that, this month we're doing really well, we're growing the revenue, and I'm able to provide good customer service for my clients. We provide good, at least they're starting their care, and at least I know that the concept of chiropractic and the thing that we work on as a team works in the patient's eyes. But as you know, this is only level 2. This is far from your business being bulletproof. This is far from your business being streamlined and systemized. Level 3 is, I need you to start thinking about, yes, new patients are important. Of course, converting well is important. But a business that runs with or without you, a business that is predictable, the business that is bulletproof in any markets or any economical conditions, is a business that also has a great percentage of retention. This is the thing that most businesses do not want to work on because it's the hardest one to achieve. In my clinic, we have a written rule that 90% of people that complete a plan should be going into ongoing care. This is the philosophy, this is the paradigm, this is the thing that we want to educate people about, is not just reducing symptoms, but is how do we make sure that you stay well and we work on your long-term goals like we discussed, and it's massively, massively impactful. Now this, of course, will be if you observe any amazing business model, if you observe any incredible company, they have something called MRR, and that means monthly recurring revenue. If you think about your Amazons with Amazon Prime, if you think about your Netflix with the subscription service, you think about whatever, David Lloyd, the gym, it all means that I know that next month, the month after, and probably the month after that, my recurring revenue is predictable because I've developed systems in place, and those might be, but again, this takes months to implement in your clinic, but memberships, direct debit schemes, referral schemes, how do you implement that? How do you communicate with the team to do that? This is the hard part, and when it's hard, people get the analysis paralysis. They know they should be doing it, they just don't. But arguably, this and this is where your focus needs to be, rather than just focusing on every single month. How am I going to get more new patients? And I don't care what coaches say out there. I don't care what your gurus and marketing agents say there. They're not on the battlefield, literally building a business. Like this week, I've had numerous meetings with my chiropractors, my massage therapists, my management, my CAs. We're literally doing this as we speak. So I'm not pulling stuff out of a textbook. I'm showing you how to build a business that can get to 7 figures, and you don't even have to be practicing if you choose not to. So having new patients and having good percentage of conversion and having good percentage of retention, and by the way, knowing your KPIs is super important. Knowing your lifetime value of a client, knowing your stats is super, super important, because this client I was telling you about, they would have carried on bringing more and more and more and more new patients each month without actually focusing on what was the problem. What was that elephant in the room that needed to be addressed by just having a coach or consultant, or at least being in a program where you're surrounded by like-minded people to tell you, by the way, don't worry about bringing 120 new patients every single month. Why don't we just focus on day 1, day 2, procedures, processes, systemizing, building your funnels, having the SMS reminder, all that stuff that requires to build a true business. If you're watching this and you've just started and you're kind of just going from 0 to 10k a month, or from 10 to 30k a month, this still applies. The same principles still apply to a much smaller scale, but it's still the same concept. This is called static content. Static content means that these principles are business principles, what they're called first principles, that the truth cannot be questioned. It means that they're not going to change in 10 years' time, in 20, 30, 40, 50 years' time. They're still going to stay the same. This changes all the time. This funnel, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook ads, they change all the time. TikTok just came like 2-3 years ago. It wasn't there before that. YouTube ads, Google PPC, this stuff changes all the time. The static content about how to achieve chiropractic business Nirvana doesn't. And that's why you guys need to understand that paradigms build businesses and fix problems, not new patients. And this is, I'm super excited, because this is just one educational video, one training program of multiple things that I'm building within the Perfect Practice Playbook. And it's my driver to share with, especially chiropractors here in the UK, to start with, how to build a thriving business that you actually enjoy operating and running. And of course, guys, the final level, let's call it level 4, is you know how to get your new patients, you know how to convert well, you know how to retain patients well. This is when you need to start really thinking about the finest, tiniest detail. I don't want you to think about the color of your logo when you're trying to get to 10 to 30k a month. It doesn't matter. Here, it matters a lot, because that relies on branding, that relies on reputation, that relies on long-term relationships you're building with patients, how you're seen as a company. But the next thing And the final thing you have to start thinking about is, how do I increase the value of what we provide? And that might be the music I play in my reception area, how patients are welcomed, what is the way that we shake their hands when the chiropractor walks in the room, how do we increase the value of our service by perceived time, and the next thing I want to talk about is, how do we increase the diversification of the things you provide for your clients to supplement what you already do. So diversity, super important. I mean, we've had deep tissue massage, sports massage, rehabilitation, chiropractic as part of our core products, but lately we've launched shockwave therapy, supplements, TheraBands. We have classes that work on a monthly recurring revenue system, which works really well because that supplements this as well. So this is next level, absolutely essential if you were to think about the business needs to run to its potential, whether I'm there or not. By the way, this could take you 5 years. It took me about 4 or 5 years. Only in the last 2-3 years I've been able to put myself away from the business, and it still hits record months without me practicing, but it requires the systems, the procedures, the processes, the SOPs to be in place. And this, guys, is what I call Chiropractic Business Nirvana. It's been an absolute pleasure recording this video, and I highly encourage people, if you want to learn more stuff like this, if you want to be inspired by people who are always driving the profession forward and actually know what they're talking about, give us a shout. I'll literally do a clinic audit where I will sit down with you and I'll try to figure out what the problems, the challenges are, and I'll let you know what I think is best for you. Do you want to join my program? Do you want to have one-to-one consulting? Or can I just say, look, this is not the right thing for you. Let me just give you some value and maybe give you a bit of advice. And then we shake hands and we say goodbye and we still love each other. But if you're someone who has hacked the matrix and you're in this position where business nirvana has been achieved, then I have no value to add to you. So I've got nothing else to say, but just a lot of love. And guys, if you watch these videos, please share them, because I am on a mission to help every single chiropractic business owner to build an incredible business, enjoy it, and help lots of people along the way. Bye for now.